Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And I would like to use today's live stream to share with you my thoughts about this. But I would also be very glad to hear your opinion about this and about this topic. And yeah, first and foremost, a quick disclaimer. I am invested in Bitcoin and also several other cryptocurrencies. So therefore, please take everything what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because as I'm invested, I'm most likely biased. So yeah, my goal here is not to persuade anyone to start investing into crypto, but just sharing my thoughts of it. So first and foremost, I want to make a big distinguish between Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency. And actually, I would even put the cryptocurrencies into 3 buckets. The first bucket is Bitcoin. So let's cover Bitcoin first. Bitcoin, for me, is different to other cryptocurrencies because the primary goal or the primary advantage of Bitcoin is its store of value. There are only 21 million Bitcoins available, and the supply is getting less and less. So the number of Bitcoins that are getting mined with every block are getting reduced with every Bitcoin halving, which is happening roughly around every 4 years. Sorry. Then, why it's a store of value? Actually, Bitcoin is only worth as much as people are believing into Bitcoin, into the system, and therefore put value to it. Similar to a US dollar. The US dollar is only worth something because people have trust in the US dollar, maybe in the US government, and people have trust that if they own $1, there is stuff you can buy with it, or you can, you can give it to other people, and they will also value it as $1. And I think the same is for Bitcoin. The only difference to regular currency is the supply, as mentioned before. It's limited and it's getting less and less new supply. This is very different than regular currencies, where you basically have more and more money printing going on over the last few years and decades. But in the end, whether or not Bitcoin will be successful all depends on the network effect. If more people believe in it, in its value especially, if more people are using Bitcoin, are maybe using Bitcoin especially as a store of value, the more demand will there be, and the more the potential the price is going up. So this is basically my investment case for Bitcoin. However, that being said, it's a relatively new vehicle for investments where you can put your money in. So therefore, there's not a lot of history on Bitcoin's success yet. So you cannot take for sure that you can extrapolate past returns into the future. And there are several risks attached to it. And I would, without going too much into the details, I would bucket them into 3 areas. The first area of risks for Bitcoin is the legal area. Because Bitcoin is competing with the traditional money system, there is a lot of competition with people that are currently controlling the money system, mainly the governments, and also the federal banks who are controlling money supply and currencies. So regulation is always a risk for cryptocurrencies. Then the sector, which is actually a pretty big one, is technological risk. As it stands for now, the safest thing that is existing. However, you can never be sure that there isn't any new technology coming up, for example, quantum computing, that could break this security in the current blockchain. So that's another risk, and maybe a few other technological risks that could be happening. And then lastly, I think actually this is probably one of the biggest people who are investing into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are maybe least aware of is the behavioral risk. Especially if people are taking care of self-custody, there's a huge risk that actually they lose their access to their voice, and maybe they forget their keys, they forget the recovery pieces, and so on. I think there's a big risk there that even though everything is going fine with the big Bitcoin technology and generally with cryptocurrency technology, there's still a risk there that you lose access to the wallet if you're not have a well thought through system. Of course, guys like self-custody, you can give your Bitcoin to a third party security provider, but a risk so therefore I think both maybe from Bitcoin holder but also from Bitcoin. So number one of the kind of cryptocurrencies. For me it's basically a store of value. Then the area I'd say altcoins, and the biggest there is Ethereum. Of course you have several competitors to Ethereum and other companies that or other cryptocurrency projects that are basically competing in the same space. For me, the use case for Ethereum and other altcoins is very different than Bitcoin, because the main purpose for those altcoins is usually to make it digital and maybe also to have like a digital covering digital transactions. So there are basically use cases for those different altcoin projects. And how those can be successful is mainly because they're used as a store. You can potentially earn on use cases of those. For example, Ethereum transaction going through the Ethereum network. Ethereum grab basically are more similar to a business model. They're trying to earn as a result, a lot of competing projects. For Ethereum is probably the leading project for now, and also from quite some network effects because you want to have a big user base using your crypto technology. But still, there might be a new crypto coming up that has better technology, that is cheaper, that is faster, that is maybe more secure than Ethereum, and those might be then directly competing with Ethereum. So therefore, investing into those altcoins, to me it's very similar like investing into a company. You basically want to make sure you understand and that you believe that this cryptocurrency's business model is stronger than from their competitors. And on top of that, I think most of the altcoins are not very mature yet. they're not like a regular blue chip companies to invest in. Instead, they're more like a startup. So it's highly risky, highly competitive, not sure who will be the winner, and there's a lot of risk there. So people investing in altcoins, especially if you're a long-term investor, you cannot just take it, put it into the same bucket, at least in my opinion, like Bitcoin, but you need to consider the business case of those altcoins. And then there's a third bucket of cryptocurrencies. And in lack of not using bad vocabulary, I will call them joke coins, but actually I think you understand what kind of coins I'm referring to. These are those kind of cryptocurrency projects that the founders just invented them to actually build up a hype. And more likely than not, those joke coins actually are all or mostly are running on a pump and dump scheme. So they are very often like having a very small market cap with very small circulation. So therefore, if demand is rising, the price is rising very quickly. And those who invented those cryptocurrency projects or brought them to the market, they can just earn a lot from other people who are just buying the coins from them. But there's no project behind them, there's no use case behind them. But people will often maybe just see that the prices are rising. So it's basically just following a greater fool's theory. And the greater fool's theory is something that people are just counting on, that even though they might know there's no value behind those coins, they hope that they can buy it at a low price and sell it to a greater fool at a higher price. So unless someone is very early on invested and get out of those projects quick enough, early enough, it's very often resulting into a big capital loss. And unfortunately, I believe many of those projects are on the brink of legality because, especially the founders, they're just banking in people's inability to make wise investment decisions, and they just bump those coins as soon as they get a profit. So as a result, again, in my belief, there are three kinds of cryptocurrency. There's Bitcoin itself, there's Ethereum and other altcoins with some business case behind, and there's a lot of small garbage out there that are just trying to take profits from the hype around cryptocurrency and the technology. So be careful what you invest in. Have an investment plan. Again, as a disclaimer, I'm long Bitcoin, I'm long other altcoins as well. So, but yeah, just be careful what you are planning to do. So please share your thoughts with me. What are your thoughts about cryptocurrencies in general? Have you invested in them? If yes, just in Bitcoin or other coins, what is your investment strategy? I would love to hear about it. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and especially I look forward to seeing you winning financially.